What's up, guys? We're back at it, day 2, ICAST 2024. I'm here at the JYG Pro booth with Kevin. I was here yesterday, had a conversation with Brian. We were talking about some stuff for the summer tournaments, and he happened to just show these rods over to me. And they just, the more that I thought about it, what he showed with me, and the new innovation, technology you're bringing to the table, you've been a big part of this. You've been the main part of this. I said to myself, I got to show this to you guys. So here's your standard, right? Your standard conventional fishing rod.
That would be like a sailfish or a kingfish rod.
Okay,
yeah, live bait rod.
This is what, like a
15, 20 pound? It's probably a 20 pound, yeah.
Now, is this all glass, carbon fiber? What is this here?
So this is our JYG Pro offshore blank. These are made by our awesome factory overseas. This blank specifically is about 60% carbon fiber and 40% fiberglass, if I'm not mistaken. So you have the durability of the fiberglass built in, but carbon fiber is a very advanced material. It's very sensitive, so you're gonna have a better performing, lighter rod overall.
So what I'm really here to have him talk about today, though, is this rod that's in his hand. So your all's DNA, obviously, is vertical jigging, slow pitch jigging. That's where everything from this JYG Pro boom that's going on was, created from.
Yeah.
And so, guys, as you know, I know what a wraparound style rod was. Kevin educated me a moment ago that it's called an acid wrap, right?
Acid or spiral wrap, yeah.
And this rod here, much like the standard slow pitch rods, has that new style. So let's talk about this acid wrap rod on video and what the whole inspiration is behind it.
So the acid wrap is essentially an answer to a problem that a lot of people have had, right? So we acid wrap or spiral wrap a slow pitch rod because we're fishing vertically. And when you're jigging, you bring the rod tip up and there's a tendency for the line to get wrapped around the tip of the rod. Now, if all your guys are on the top and you wrap around, you get a tip wrap and a fish bites, you're gonna lose all the guys on the tip. You're probably gonna break the tip of your rod. So, and people that are fishing in high pressure situations, right? Let's say you're a South Florida sailfish tournament where there's money on the line. You can't have any risk or possibility of that happening. So
we happen to run a sailfish tournament series in South Florida, by the way.
Really?
Also. Yes.
Okay.
So I get exactly where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Carry on.
I mean, I cut my teeth like building offshore tournament rods at an offshore outfitter. That's where I learned how to build rods like this.
Right.
So with the acid wrap,
money's on the line in a sailfish tournament.
Look, the materials, the quality of the materials are there. So you're not adding that much friction by rotating the guides around to the bottom. You're not losing much. All it is it looks a little wonky, right? But in reality, when you're fishing, if you get a tip wrap, that line's gonna slide right off. The rod is more sensitive overall because you're forcing contact with the guides here. So that line is constantly contacting the rod. You end up having a better performing rod, right? It fights a lot better because with the natural spine of the rod, that rod wants to roll over. With those guys on the top, you have essentially a lever.
Yeah.
And you're completely removing that lever when you have the guides on the bottom.
Yeah.
So in any situation where you're fishing and that line is coming off at a 90-degree angle from the tip of the rod, you can use a spiral wrap rod and it'll be a better rod.
Well, and I love the analogy that you gave off camera when you were talking about the competitive sailfishing stuff, and with the money being on the line, obviously a tip wrap situation where you not only burn off a fish because the line gets wrapped, the line pops, is that potentially costing you a money fish? It's also taking a rod
out of the game,
right, out of operation and slowing down the process in a place where time is money.
Yeah,
right?
and you have tournaments, you'll have multiple tournaments in a week. You have to be back out on the water, so you have to run into your rod shop that's already loaded down with rod orders and rod repairs, and you have to get another rod fixed, and you got to spend more money. It's taking one possible issue out of the equation.
Right. Well, and the one thing that this camera is not going to showcase, guys, is weight. I mean, literally, when I tell you that, like, I'm holding this thing with a fingertip, and it feels like this thing doesn't even weigh a pound.
I think those carbon fiber blanks weigh about 50% less than the standard original fiberglass blanks that you've seen since the 90s. It's just the advancement in the technology of the materials is there. So why don't we utilize it, you know, and move the industry forward?
When, I'm sure this will be a question that a lot of viewers have, is where will these be available and when will these be available in the marketplace if somebody wanted to actually go out, check them out, test them out?
So these rods are being built specifically for the tackle shops.
That's right. Brian did mention that there's
so we
obviously
have, you know, I put a decal on the bottom of the rod, but the whole point of these rods is to build them all black, nothing special, nothing fancy, and allow the rods to add whatever, or allow the shops to add whatever customization they want to add. If they want to add a decal and sell it as a shop rod, that's their shop rod. Right. They can pick and choose whatever styles they want. You know, we have swordfish rods, light and heavy swordfish rods. We have standard deep drop rods, acid wrap deep drop rods.
I think for the tackle shop, that's great. Or build a set for a customer with their team logo on it.
Exactly. Yeah. And if a shop wants to add trim bands, they can add trim bands and slap a coat of epoxy on there, and it's a custom rod.
Right.
So, you know, we have different options of different butts, slick butts, you know, the aluminum butts, because the guys in the sport fish boats, they need the storage.
So are you taking orders from local tackle shops now where these can be delivered in the near future, or?
It's still a work in progress.
Okay.
We might have to adjust some of the actions of some of the blanks.
Okay.
But in the near future, I'm hoping we will be in the shops, yes.
Okay. Yeah. Fantastic. So we have one more product, guys, that is also a new release that is right down the lane, I should say, of vertical jigging and slow pitch jigging that is going to be on my wish list in the very near future. So let me show that to you as well. All right, so here we are on the other side of the booth, and as promised, this guy's got something really cool to show you. So I got to tell you, when I walked into the booth and I saw what you're about to talk about, the one thing that has bugged me about this slow pitch phenomenon that I've gotten addicted to, which you are one of the pioneers of, is all my jigs, I just keep them in like Plano boxes right now. And they're 300, 400, 500 grams heavy, and a lot of times the boxes break. So what do we got to show these guys?
As always, we like to fix solutions, right? Big problems, big solutions. So we came out with different concepts of a storage system for jigs. Most of these storage systems that we have now are great, but you need to unrig the jigs. Everybody is asking us, hey, how can we keep these jigs rigged? So here's the concept. So this is the jig bucket, the JYG Pro bucket. So all that it is a custom sized bucket with a cover, and then you have pockets on the sides. So you can actually put all your unrigged jigs, what we call like storage jigs, on the outside. So you feed about 30 of them, as big as 400, all around.
Almost 30 all the way around.
Yes, wow. Just around there. And then in the inside, you can keep your rig jigs. So if you're in 200 feet of water, you know you're gonna be using about 200 gram jig.
Right.
So you can literally pick all the styles and pre-rig them when you move from a spot to a spot, rig them all, have them ready to go here, and then just grab whatever you need. It's just PVC inside the bucket, allows you to keep them all rigged here. You have a little bit of foam here, so you can put your assist hooks, whatever you want.
Right.
But not only that, for all the guys in the West Coast that do all the surface irons in California, great. All the guys in the Northeast that use all the plugs from the beach. We all like to go, throw plugs and poppers and things like that at the snook, tarpon, stripers. Bucket.
Yeah,
no. It's done.
I'm 100% a customer. So what is this little guy on the side
So
here?
you have a couple pockets here. So this is to fit a PR bobbin. So we make this really fancy knot.
For making the knots.
Yeah. So you can put they sell these small cases where you can put your split rings and terminal tackle here.
Okay.
You got 2 of them. You have a couple of rings here, so you can clip in your snippers.
Right.
This is for your pliers. You got 2 of them, so you can literally fit everything here. And on top, you can have your fluorocarbon. You can actually, your fluorocarbon spool right here.
No,
this is all you need.
I see this riding out on the deck of my boat, easy access, don't necessarily have to open up my seat to grab out my Plano boxes, and quick change, quick access, super, super cool. So is this guy available in the market yet, or is it coming to the market?
So it'll be out in about 30 days, so By the time this video comes out and you guys watch it, probably it's already out.
Okay.
So it retails for $79.99. It does have a hole on the bottom to drain. A lot of people ask me like, how is it going to drain? It has a small hole. This is a mesh, so it drains out. It's totally waterproof. And it's simple. It's just, you know, it's a simple solution. Very robust, very heavy duty nylon fabric. And yeah, it won't scratch your boat. I mean, it's just for everything. If you're traveling,
well, you know how we're going to test this out, right?
We need to go fishing.
On the fishing trip that we've been talking about for way too long.
It's happening.
It's coming up. I don't know where we're doing or where we're going. There's been some talk of the Bahamas. So if you are not subscribed, make sure you get subscribed to the channel, because you're here watching this video for a reason. You got an interest in Jig Pro, you got an interest in slow pitch fishing. We got some great slow pitch videos below in the gallery, and me and this guy, we're gonna go get after it. So hopefully you enjoyed the first half of the video with Kevin talking about all the new technology, the new acid wrap conventional style rod. We got this amazing new creation here for carrying all your slow pitch gear. George, you're the man. We'll see you for the next Fish Blue Water video.